Today in the Essential Space, we are joined by Jake Minot, Director of Sales, and Chris Gassett, a member of our sales team in the great state of Missouri. Chris comes to us with the story of a demonstration he did for a school. Go ahead and take it away, Jake.
Yeah, so we're going to continue along with our theme of demo stories. It's important for anybody interested in Essential to kind of know what we stand for, what our products stand for, and these stories are the best way that we can show that. When we're going to talk about the demo that you had come up, can you kind of set up the situation for us? What were they fighting? Was it a budget issue? Was it a product failure issue? Just kind of set up what we were attacking there.
Yeah, it was really kind of a unique situation, but it's a situation we run into periodically. And I got called into a school district, and this is a school district that had been using a contractor and oil modified finish for many, many years. Always had good luck, loved the product, loved the way that it looked, but had been given word just because of budget reasons, saving money, that they wanted to bring it in-house. So that was why I was initially called in.
Okay. So if they're wanting to bring it in-house, you and I know because we've been in the industry for a while and we've dealt with gym floors. When you look at bringing the process of doing an OMU to people who possibly have never done that process before, it's a much more challenging task than attacking it with a water base. So was that kind of where your head went when you were having discussion with this school district?
Yeah, that was the initial concern from a school district, because they had looked, just like it said, at dry screening, tacking, putting down oil modified, having the gym shut down for extended periods of time as something they just never wanted to get into. So when this kind of came down on them, there was a little bit of fear and apprehension, a little frustration as well. But it's kind of a, what do we do? We've never done this before. So first thing we did is put their mind at ease. You're not the first. This is not the first time this has happened. This does happen periodically. We do have a system, and really got into the aspects of Sport Coat PC that's going to allow them to do this in a much easier way, much simpler, and give similar results to what they're getting with oil modified.
Okay. So had they ever used a water-based gym finish in the past, or had they always just contracted it out with and put down OMUs?
They had always contracted out and put down OMU. So it was really kind of a difficult situation because you're looking at, number one, doing this yourself when you had a contractor coming in and doing it, and also you're switching from a different product, from an oil modified to a water base, and there's still a little stigma in some areas that water base isn't as good as the oil modifieds, and I think that comes from many years ago. So when we're able to sit down with them, and even before we even went out and do the demo, just in an initial meeting, just went through the process of how Sport Coat PC works. Number one, with the preparation, we're going to use an auto scrubber opposed to a dry screen. So they're going to use prep pads, very similar to what they're already doing in their hallways. We're just going to move many of the procedures that they're doing with hallways when they top scrub, using a maroon pad, using an auto scrubber, and just moving that into their gym. So a lot of the prep work the guys already knew how to do. They just weren't aware of it. So it made that the training and the understanding of the procedure quite a bit easier.
So give us a little bit of a timeline here. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit extended because you were training people who had never done this process before, at least for the Sport Coat process. So what was a timeline like from the time you started the demo to when you wrapped it up?
We were there, started at 8:00 in the morning, and even including training and everything, which obviously would slow the process down, but just going through everything, we ended up walking out with both coats done by 3:00, which was really, they were shocked by that, by how quickly that we were able to get the floor finished, as well as, they can be on it the next day, not having to have that gym shut down for the length of time that you would have with an oil modified. This last year wasn't a major concern because of COVID, so there wasn't a lot going on in the schools. But traditionally in a normal year, the gyms rarely shut down. Even during the summers, they have camps, they have sports, lots of other activities. So finding a week to shut a gym down is always a major concern. Having our system where you can literally go in, do it in one day, and be on it in 24 hours it really helps them schedule and helps the school district overall. You know, it was great working with that crew in that situation because you're walking in and you're seeing people a little bit apprehensive because they've never done a gym floor. Many of them didn't want to do a gym floor because they've always had a contractor coming in to do it for them. And when you leave and they're excited about the process, everyone's run the machines, everyone's pulled the T-bar, everyone has a good understanding of how to do it. It's really a good situation that's going to allow it to be successful moving forward. Because once they've done, we did the one there, once they do maybe another one, they'll feel comfortable enough to be able to do the process on their own.
That's awesome. So, Chris, that's just some great information. And it sounds like you were successful in educating a longtime user of an oil modified finish on the benefits of using a water based product, which is great. And we learned that a water based product has the added benefits of being better for the environment, it has lower VOCs, and it's easier to apply with a lot less labor. And the added bonus is you get to play on it the next day. This is really all great information, and I thank you for joining us in the Essential Space. If anyone has any questions, please post them in our LinkedIn page, and we look forward to seeing you again.